What's happening, party people? We are still in Las Vegas on our Western USA help tour, and it is cold in Vegas. I woke up this morning, it's 34 degrees with a wind chill, probably 25. It's cold for Vegas. I understand it's cold in Southern Cal as well. But in this video, we were, just doing normal stuff. We had just delivered that 850 in Texas. Had a little deer incident. I say little because those Texas deers are small. A little deer incident with our newer vehicle. Took that to the shop and went to the Dallas, Texas area to help a guy there with a transmission swap. Got that done. Got back home to Cincinnati. Went to a couple of salvage jars. Just normal stuff. So trying to get those video clips through, caught up for everybody. And then we'll just focus on our trips out here out west. So I appreciate you all watching. Again, if you are a paid member, supporter, Patreon, PayPal donations, a member to the YouTube channel, and you need some personal contact support, tech support per se, call, email, text me, that kind of thing. It's free. If you are not one of those paid supporters and you need some help, some guidance through anything at all, it's a $10 fee for that kind of personal support. Other than that, get all the free support you need from the YouTube channel. Also, it's easier to get responses from me, call or text through my phone number or through the WhatsApp app if you're across the pond. And, sending me messages through all these different social media portals is not really good for me because I don't have time to check all that stuff. I got some parts shipped out, just one or two more things to ship and deliver to people waiting for a ABS module return from service. And hey, just taking it one day at a time. So I'm gonna get out of here, go get to work. I got a dash to finish up, and then I got to go do some more stuff on that vehicle. Then probably tomorrow pick up the manual swap that I got going on down here in Vegas. So I appreciate your support, appreciate you watching. Have a great day. Welcome to Hanging Out with Robert. That's me. This video contains things that I encounter throughout the day. If for some reason I complete a task and you would like to see the details, you could click on the link in the description area below. This video also contains tips and tricks that I learned throughout the years. I plan on leaving this video accessible for about 30 days. After that, you can view it through my Patreon account. Thank you very much for watching. We are at the dentist. Better than going to the mechanic. Well, folks, we have had the misfortune of having an accident on the road. Good thing is we were able to make it back home. We had a estimator look at it. They estimated, without tearing the vehicle apart, like $3,000. I think it'll be more than that. But that's well under my estimate, so we'll see what happens. They were looking at that little scratches on that. I wouldn't replace that for that. Nobody will see that. It's not dented. Leave it alone. But they did see the brake and the condenser. They think my refrigerant either leaked out this front side right here or out the back side. So it's going to need a condenser and a radiator. I don't know why she thinks that's going to be $3,000. But anyway, that's their job, not mine. Especially with this dent here. So I'm going to empty it out. Leave it up there. Put everything in pepper. Pepper's been sitting here for a few months, and I gotta put insurance coverage on that. So let me call and take care of that. Getting ready to take the car on the road. Need to check the tire pressure. I'm gonna crank this up to 30 for the spare. Since the car's been sitting, we're gonna check the rest of the tire pressure too. Put everything up to 32. We are here at PDM Collision Repair Center. We got the vehicle dropped off. This is Wednesday. We're going to see how long it takes them to, one, give us a written estimate, two, get this thing fixed. Got me a ride with my uncle. Say hi, Uncle. This way. This way. Come on and rest. Come on. Don't get tired now. This way. I know you're tired. You all this running. This way. Come on, get your armband on. Okay. You can't catch those birds. That's the squirrel. You can't catch that squirrel. Up the tree. I see it up the tree. We are taking Pepper through the car wash. Whoop, whoop. Man, I gotta get this AC fixed. Well, car wash place didn't tell me my antenna was up, and now it's busted. So, gotta go buy another antenna. Time to rebuild the floor in this trailer here. So, I'm gonna take a quick detour, come back, rebuild this, make sure all my lights work, and go find a latch for that thing so we can have this trailer ready to roll in the morning. This is my helper with his power drill and screwdriver in hand. Hey, you got your chalankas on? Your little puppy dog chalankas? Amari, come on, let's go. This way. Bye-bye. Getting 2 cuts at the Home Depot. I cut the long end off so he could stand it up and cut it again the same way, but I think he's going to try to rip this thing, which I don't know how that's going to work because the weight of that thing is going to try to come down on that blade. So we'll see what happens if I get my 40 rip. Folks, we're about to hit round 2 of getting this thing ready for the road. Oh, dang it, I gotta get that screw out of there. I don't know what I did with the screwdriver. I think I took it in the house. But we got the floor out of it. About to put a new floor in it. Let me get the stuff out of the car. Get this cracking. So I was able to get all the nails out. The nails that I didn't get out, I hammered in, or screws. Then I brushed this top surface time-wise. I didn't want to try to treat the whole thing. I sprayed it with Rust-Oleum. It should be dry now from my little lunch break. It's just still a little tacky. Couple spots. But I'm going to go ahead and try to drop the board in there. I cut the board so I could have an 1/8 inch gap the whole way around. So hopefully the wood will not be touching the aluminum around there. And it's got a little paint on there. I probably should have painted the aluminum a little more because the chemicals in that pressed wood supposedly causes corrosion on aluminum, not steel. So anyway, I'm gonna drop this down in here. I'm gonna tuck it in that way and then swing it under here. This had brackets welded to it, and I don't know, screwed down on them somehow,
Not sure really what the purpose of those was. Maybe to hold the wood down so it wouldn't blow up, but it's got screws down here, so I don't really understand that. I'm going to put probably 2 or 3 screws across each position here and 4 or 5 screws up both sides. I got self-tapping screws, but I don't know how good they'll work. They're bigger than I thought. I thought these things were narrow, but they are big compared to what was in there. And these are self-tapping. I don't know if they use the self-tapping process to get them in, but this is what I'm going in the metal with. The metal's not that thick, so they don't have to be that long, but they're going to grab. And if I got to drill holes, I have some good steel bits to drill holes with. So that's where I'm at. Let me try to maneuver this thing in here and climb in here and start attaching it. But again, I'm going to try to space it. Now, when I go to lay this thing down, I may not be able to get it past this light. So I may have to take this light out. Not sure how that works, but it looked like it just pops in here. So I may have to pop this light out. It's already almost out. Undo that little ground wire on it there and drop it down. It's going to hit here, hit here, hit there. Then I'll probably lift it back out and cut those little notches out. So I'll have 3 little notches in this thing. I probably should cut them now, but let's see what happens. Yeah, I think I should cut those notches now. Let me measure that, try to cut those notches out, and then drop this thing in. That'll save me a little bit of time. Doot, 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 doot. Well, folks, that is it for now. Now, these are not secure yet. I'm going to file that down, file it down on the other side, and put some L brackets on here, kind of like that. They had some kind of like L brackets welded there. I'm not sure why they were welded, but really no need for them to be welded. So I'm gonna put 6 L brackets in here and we'll be done. We have a gap, almost a 1/2 inch all the way around. I was hoping it would be a 1/4 inch, but my measurement's off. We're about a 1/2 inch. I got a little nervous, overshot my estimates, but it's pretty tight. I'm gonna probably put some foam caulking in there and put foam in there so nothing falls down there. I don't think we'll have anything fall down there this trip. I will also want to put some anchors, tie down rings in this floor, 4 corners. That way if I have something in here that I need to screw down, I can screw it down. And I'm going to put some kind of lift supports on here so that when I lift this up, it just doesn't fold over, because my family has a tendency to think it's okay just to fold that door over and let it hang on the hinge. And as you can see, it's stretching the hinge out of whack, and I don't want that. So that's what we're going to do for now. We replaced the lights on the back. After lunch, I'm going to hook up the tow hitch to the car, test the lighting, and I have no idea why there's like 600 splices. We have 1, 2, 3, 4 splices there. We got this grounded here, goes through here. How many splices we got under here? Oh, those splices until we get here. Got 3 splices here, another splice there, another splice there, 2 more splices there, 2 more splices there. It makes no sense to have all these splices. So for me, I'm probably going to get rid of all these splices. This might have got damaged. That might be why it got spliced up, but I don't know why we had lighting issues, but I'm about to find out. And this needs to be in some kind of plug or something, because it is dirty. So let me brush that out, spray it off with brake parts cleaner, and get this hooked up to the car to test it after lunch. Whoop, whoop. So I had the trailer sitting here like a tripod. Of course, the center of gravity is a little bit to the front. Just lightweight trailer other than this heavy floor I just put in here. It was a 5/8. I put 3/4 inch wood in there. I'll be carrying heavy stuff, so I wanted to beef it up a little bit. So I had it sitting on that block and resting on the 2 wheels. I was in there working on it, and I decided to back up. And when I backed up, the front of it flipped up and dumped all this stuff to the ground. So I kind of needed to put something back there. I don't know why I didn't think about that before, but anyway, I got the jack there. So we're probably got screws and stuff here. I need to run a magnet through here, pick up anything I lost. I think I got a 1/4 inch socket in here somewhere. And well, let me check. I might have put that 1/4 inch socket back. Yeah, I put it back, so we don't have anything missing. And we are good to go for lunch. Check the lighting, fix that when we get back. Lights are not working, and I found some new connecting points. On the back of the lights, there's pins. That is the left turn signal flasher. So I hooked that up. That's plugged in. Let's test to see if it's working. Hazard and flasher should be the same thing. We must have a break in the wire between the connector and... Oh, I seen a flicker. See that flicker? We got a bad connection somewhere, folks. We need to fix that. Well, our transmitter box is bad, so I got to run to the store and grab another one. Power is coming in here, but it's not coming out here, so I got to go do something else. I bought a new converter box. It's this right here. And it did not have a power lead to it. And it is not giving me any bulb failures or anything. It probably works on the concept that most of these trailers now have LEDs. And one of the main things I had wrong with the wiring with it was it did not have a good ground. He was using that as the ground, and that wasn't working. I had to run a ground wire in through the grommet here and tap it onto the aluminum frame that goes all the way around. So now we have a good ground. Let me go ahead and hook this up and get it ready for the road. Installed new wiper blades for the headlight wipers, both sides, good to go. Well, folks, another delay. Took off on our journey last night. Got about 2 miles away, pumped gas, checked my bearings, and the one on the driver's side was hot. So we're gonna replace the bearing this morning before we hit the road. I think I'm gonna replace the whole hub, not just the bearings inside of it. Be quicker. I need to get out of here. Man, this is a tiny wheel hub, and that axle, jeez. I don't know how much weight I'm supposed to be carrying with this thing. Doesn't look like much. I better not put an engine or something in there. That's not really an axle. That's just a piece of an axle braced in there. Tread lightly. Anyway, I got to knock this cap off here, pull a bolt out of that thing, and pull that thing out of there. It's not spinning freely. It doesn't even look like it's centered. Oh my gosh, look at the crud in that thing. That came off real easy. There's more dirt in there than grease. And it's got holes in it, so I wasn't going nowhere far. Let me pull that pin out and unscrew that nut and get down to the parts place. I straightened one part of the pin out. Looked like it only had one part. Then I tapped it up a little bit and enough to get this in here. I'm pulling it up with this. Prying it out. It should be ready to come out here. There it is. This nut should be hand tight. Yeah, it's finger tight, but it's got too much dirt on it to come loose. Let me spray something on there, brush that off, and try to turn that off. Use my crescent wrench to get it off. It's between a 26 or 27, somewhere around there. I should have a washer here. Then it has the bearing there. Get the bearing size off of that. God, that's nasty in there. Yep, there it is. Let me run this down to the parts place and buy a couple of them. I don't think I'll be rebuilding this thing. It's just nasty. I mean, probably save 20 bucks rebuilding it, but is your time worth 20 bucks? Look at that, that's a lot of dirt in there. Let me get out of here. This thing been on there so long, I can't even see the bearing size. That's a shame. I cleaned that off, but it probably should be polished with Scotch-Brite pad or something. But we should be good. I got two of them because I figure if one is that bad, the other one's probably right behind it. These were like 60 bucks a piece. So let me slide this thing on here. It's got a grease point, which is good. That actually sounds dry. That's not good. Let me see if I could get some grease in there. That should not be like that. These bearings are not greased. That's horrible. Let me pull that out there and grease these bearings. Be careful of that. Cheap manufacturer. So I cleaned the washer off and sprayed it down with brake parts cleaner. Dry it. Put it on there. They didn't give me a new nut, which is fine. I got my own. Cleaned it off, sprayed it down. I don't know if I could torque this thing with, I don't have a socket big enough. So I'm just gonna have to tighten it till it snugs up, then loosen it a little bit to set the load on the bearing. So let me grab my tool there and turn it a quarter of a turn and spin it till it gets tight. And here's Mita's 2-day-old phone. I've found that thing everywhere so far. Found it on the back. She left it on the car. Now it's here. I predict this is going to be an issue. And here's the other bearing. We're going to call this one the good one. Hear that noise? That is not good. And this was the good one. And for a little added fun, the inner bearing is rusted onto the axle. So let me go find a pipe wrench to get this off of here. And I hope it doesn't mess up the axle post or whatever you want to call this thing. Proper tool probably would have been heat and a puller, but I was able to get this behind it and start tapping it out. Finally got it off of there. So let me clean this thing up. Wire, wheel it, brass, so it's not too abrasive, and put the new one on. So I use that soft brass brush to clean up this axle. It's got some scoring on it. So it's gonna be something I'm gonna have to maintenance every year, every 10,000 miles. According to my boy Chris Fix, because I can put a lot of miles on this thing quick, so I'm gonna have to figure out a system to mark miles, put a little tag in there or something. I'm getting ready to put 1,200 miles on it the next couple days, so gotta watch this stuff. Let me open up this new one. Pack the grease in there because they didn't properly load the grease in the bearings. They're dry and barely enough grease inside the hub to grease them, but I got to do what I can. Then get a grease gun and get some wheel bearing grease and grease them up. They have a little thing that pops out when you got enough grease in them. Let me show you. So those bearings are dry. You don't see grease in there. You can pull it out and hear it. So you got to pack the grease in there. And the one on the inside, you don't want to pull that stuff out because if you pull it out, you may damage the seal. The seal rides on the inner lip of that axle. And that thing is not smooth at all, so that's going to be taking on a lot of water. I may want to put a real axle in this thing sometime soon. It's another expense of owning one of these things. And I don't know, I guess they don't have no alignment. If you just put it in properly, distance-wise, you'll be good to go. So let me pack the grease in these things and get this thing installed. The pin on the other side, I spun it, twisted it, and wrapped it around both sides of the nut. Another option you have is to cut it and push one back in there. I don't know if this little scrawny thing will cut it or not. Let's see. Yeah, be careful. Watch your eyes. And then bend it up over there. Bend one side up over it like that. And push the other side in and back. And you should be good to go. Let me tap that back. Just gotta make sure it's out of the way of your cap. Oh, there it is in position. Now I can put my cap on it. I rolled it back after I tightened it. It still feels tighter than I think I like it, but jeez. Let me tighten this, pull this pin back out, get another pin. I don't know if I twisted that back far enough. Loosened it enough. It may be too tight. It was too tight at the last setting because you should be able to get some spin on it. So I had to back it up. Really didn't have any play in it, so that should be good. I almost had it too tight. Last but not least, make sure you put the bevel part of the nut into the wheel so the flat part goes out. I'm torquing mine to 65 foot-pounds. AI says do it between 50 and 75 foot-pounds. Now you want to make sure your wheel spins freely, and because you got this Carter pin installation situation, you may have just a little vibration of a movement in there. There's a measurement that you can make with a tool. Now I know the other vibration I had, if I tightened it to the next position, was too tight. So I had to go to this position. So I'll report if I have any issues, and thanks for watching. We are looking for a latch, folks, and hopefully we have a working one here. Works on the outside. Works on the inside. We got a winner. Let's get it pulled. Yo, Miller's Barbecue, right off the interstate. Kind of like a cafeteria almost. Mostly mature crowd. It's affordable. Let's see how it tastes. Got meat to brisket, French fries, and coleslaw. And I got the pork ribs, beans, and green beans. We are here in the Dallas area about to do a transmission replacement on this 850. Look at that hood. That's kind of unique. Carbon fiber wrap design. Nice. Got some mods here. We're going to do some magic so he can have a reverse back. Goes forward, but not backwards. We have the vehicle on jack stands back here behind the subframe in the pinch well of the car. Next, we're going to take the wheels off, take the axles out, and then support the top of the engine here. Remove the intake tube from the idle air control valve, top of the intercooler, throttle body. Got to get at those screws down there. Removing the battery, pull that out, taking out the battery tray, unplug the vacuum line for it. Cruise control. Now I'm gonna unplug the cruise control motor, air pump. Then I'm gonna take the brake booster hose apart and get it out of the way and take this bracket out, and I'll start getting stuff off the top of the transmission. I already took the air inlet tube off that goes to the turbo. I need to stick something in that turbo, and I'm gonna probably take this OTE pipe off as well because that's kind of in the way. I'm gonna take the bracket and all with it. I got the turbo tube out, and man, we have a lot of oil under this vehicle. I see there's a nut missing right there on the shifter thing. That's not good, kind of strange. He told me this transmission's been out a couple of times, so I don't know if that has something to do with it or not. But I need to drain the transmission fluid, so I'm gonna look for something to do that and keep taking stuff apart. He's got a I guess a whole oil filter for his transmission. I don't know if that restricts flow or not, but oh man, I hope that didn't contribute to the failure. I got to start getting this subframe down, so I'm going to put the engine support bar in here soon. But I do need to pop those axles out whenever we get to that point. We got to drop oil right there. Oil all over these hoses down here, all over coming off the fan. A lot of stuff down here has oil on it. Oil pan is soaked. Bottom of the transmission is soaked. I really don't know what's going on around here, but let's get this thing out of here. Got the other CV axles out, got all the bolts off of the steering rack. I've hand removed those bolts. You do not want to hit those bolts with any type of impact gun because you don't want to mess up the cast nuts. And this one had all good cast nuts, all 6 of them. I took the bracket loose from the steering rack there, bracket loose from the steering rack back there. I took this transmission torque mount out. I took the 2 screws out the front of the engine mount. I got all the transmission bolts out. I drained the transmission, put that bolt back in. I want to get the subframe down and out of the way, so I'm going to remove all but one bolt in the top of the transmission. I got the wire harness loose from it, and I got to get somebody looked like already had a ground wire loose from the transmission. Make sure that wire is loose from the transmission. I got to undo these transmission cooler lines and decide how we're going to hook that back up. I took the PNP switch harness apart, and let me remove this starter. I may go ahead and pull this fan and do the fan mod so I have room to get in that transmission area. So just a thought. Get that starter loose and the bolts on the front of that transmission out. Doot, 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 doot. Well, I've never seen an engine mount like that. So let's see if the same one's in the back. All right, I'm about to break for lunch. We need to take that out there, put the engine support bar in, drop the subframe, pull that one bolt out there, and we may be ready to drop this transmission. So let's keep our fingers crossed, and hopefully I have the energy after lunch to get this done. Back at it. Yeah, we have a wet rear main seal, so we're going to replace this. We got oil all in here. We don't think this oil pan's ever been off, so we're not going to replace that, but this seal's relatively new. Not sure why it would leak. Could be the bolts didn't have sealant put on them last time they were installed, but let's replace this rear main seal and keep it moving. I think this torque converter is empty, and it's making this sound. You think I should use it or use the one that was in the car with the bad transmission? Got the rear main seal installed, sprayed in a couple of those bolt holes to try to dry some of that oil out there. Sprayed this bell housing area with some brake parts cleaner, got it pretty dry. Now I'm gonna run around this engine mating surface with a wire brush because I want this transmission to ground good. Then I'm gonna put the flex plate on, torque the flex plate bolts, and probably call it a night. Man, AI is inconsistent as they can be. The flex plate bolts torque on AI is different this week than it was last week. Last week I think I torqued those things to like 65 foot-pounds. This week it said 37 plus 60 degrees, which is probably 110 or 130 foot-pounds. So sure hope I don't have any issues with the flex plate on that car I did that transmission and engine swap on last week, but if I do, I'll warranty that out. It's after 9, so I'm tapping out. We'll pick this up tomorrow, so I gotta clean these tools up, get them in the garage at least, and call this a night. Get this other stuff in my trailer. Come out here as early as I can tomorrow because I need to get back down to the valley tomorrow. Man, I should have brought that other torque converter from that 850. I don't remember grabbing that out. I don't think I seen it. I forgot that thing. So anyway, let me pack it up. We are back at it. About to drain the coolant, replace the coolant hose for the turbo supply, and then put this transmission together and get it installed. Whoop whoop. We got the surface brushed with the wire wheel, so we have a good ground contact surface between the engine and trans, and the torque converter is all the way in. You can hear it scraping the inside of the bell housing. That's what you want. So let me get this up in place and try to get this thing bolted on. I took the mount off. I'm gonna put the mount on after I get it bolted on. We did put the vent on there with some silicone because the vent was deteriorated, and we installed a stud there for the shift cable bracket, and it cracked the mount point where the bolt went in. We might put some JB weld on there to enforce that. I guess when this thing got to an accident, it cracked it there, but the bolt goes in deeper than it cracks, so we should be good there. So some of this stuff is not to panic for, just to be aware of, and make sure you got enough mounting points that stuff doesn't fall off. But sometimes that's why there's 2 mounting points instead of 1. We got the transmission mounted on. We got a new seal on the lower radiator hose. Got that connected. We shortened that hose routing process there. We replaced the turbo supply coolant hose. That's now silicone. I raised the engine up some. Not sure if it's high enough, but we're gonna go ahead and get this subframe in. Let me try to raise this up a little bit higher and see what happens.
All of us been there.
We are back at it, folks. Getting ready to hook up the end links. We got an axle in, and just gonna keep moving forward. After dinner, back at it. Let's get the rest of this car put together so we can fire it up and start flushing this tranny. Well, good thing we don't see nothing leaking under here. We put about 1.5 quarts of transmission fluid in. We have everything hooked up, and the battery is connected. The key's in it?
I think so.
Yeah, go ahead and start it. We're gonna fire it up. Hold down on the brake. Just keep your foot on the brake the whole time. Fire it right up. Did you kill it or did it die by itself?
It did by itself.
All right, maybe we gotta hook some of this vacuum up under the car.
Okay.
Like the charcoal canister and stuff.
Yeah.
All right. Oh, and I didn't hook up this idle air control valve.
Oh, that's fine.
That'll kill it. We are running. Let your foot off the brake. You got it off? All right. Grab, put it in reverse. Let your foot off the brake. All right, that one's turning backwards. That one's turning backwards too. All right, put it in neutral. It's in neutral. All right, put it in drive. Let it go. That one's turning frontwards. All right, they're both turning. Roll it through all the gears for 10-15 seconds. Is that reverse? Put it back to reverse. All right, I want to make sure your reverse lights work. All right. Go ahead and put it in park. All right. All right, shut it off. You got a leak up here.
What is it?
This hose is leaking.
Oh, yeah, it needs to be.
No, the connector.
The connector.
The connector under here.
Oh.
I wonder if that thing is leaking
The
like the other one.
the fitting itself.
Huh?
The fitting itself, or.
No, I think it's leaking where that seal is.
Uh-huh.
Have to see what the fluid looks like. Ran it for about. Yeah, yeah, it's a little bad. So what we're going to do is add back 3.5 quarts. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And then you could probably drive that for, I don't know, around the block and come back and drop that fluid again to make sure it's more red than that right there is more strawberry than red. Wouldn't you agree?
Yeah. And it's cloudy.
Yeah. So I would add 3.5 quarts to it.
Mm-hmm.
And then if you want, you can just do like we just did. Run it for like 15 minutes here.
Yeah.
Running it through the gears. I wouldn't like run it through the gears and let it sit in a gear with the wheels on the ground. But I didn't mind doing it with the wheels up like this.
Yeah.
And let it run it like in drive for like 5-10 minutes. Let it idle in reverse for 2 to 5 minutes. Put it in park for a minute and drop the fluid again. And do that a couple times until it's not really cloudy, because you don't want cloudy fluid. Mm-hmm. And it may take a couple of gallons to clear it up, but it'll be worth it. But you drain it, you add back 3.5.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So drive for about 10 minutes and reverse about 5 minutes.
I would probably do this one more time. Like, you could fill it up 3.5 quarts tonight. Mm-hmm. Then when you get your part in, your ignition coil, mm-hmm. hook it up, fix your little vacuum stuff you got going on down here, mm-hmm. put your tires on, start it up, and put it in drive. Let it run in drive for 5-10 minutes. Put it in reverse. Let it run in reverse for 2-3 minutes. Uh-huh. Put it back in park. Let it sit in park for a minute. Then drain the fluid. Mm-hmm. I mean, it doesn't take much to make the fluid cloudy. You could have just 3-4 ounces of something in there to cloud up the fluid. But if you run it out of here like this, okay, so right now we just drained 3.5 quarts.
Right.
The other 3.5 quarts in the system is still cloudy.
Right.
So you could do a flush, or you could do a couple more of these draining fills, like 2 or 3 more of these draining fills. On a flush, you disconnect a line. Okay, yeah, you know what I mean.
Yeah, I did that always.
Okay, so you know how to do that. A flush will get it out quicker. Doing the draining fill, you're going to get half the fluid at the time. So the fluid that's still in there is still cloudy. But when you put this fresh fluid in, it's going to dilute it. So it's not going to be as contaminated. Okay? Mm-hmm. That makes sense?
Yes.
All right. So I'm going to put this in here and snug it down. And like I said, I would add back. Or you want to just let it drain a little while?
Probably. I mean...
Just let it drain a little while?
Yeah, I guess for the night it would be nice to put it back into the garage. If that's possible. I don't know.
You can if you want.
Yeah.
All right, yeah. Go ahead, put the wheels on and put 3.5 quarts in.
Yeah, and then I'll just jack it up and then run it on the jack.
Well, I mean, you could take it around the corner. Take it a mile or two, like the AutoZone and back. Come back and drain the fluid. See how clear it is. You have ramps?
Yeah.
All right.
So actually, I have.
Oops. Yeah, I dropped the thing. Kicking off the Tinker Day. 2 stack jacks. Avoiding the mud as much as possible. Avoiding the tractors, the moving vehicles, and of course, the double stack. Couldn't find a vehicle that Big John said was out here. But we did find an XC90 with a WeatherTech rear mat in it. So we got that. We're going to try to straighten that out. And we're going to try to find some Japanifolds. Woo! And here we are, folks. About to try to get a haircut, but it looks like a lot is going on here. Woohoo! Like a retail shop. This 850 that we took the manual parts still out here. Still has stuff like this in it. The little grill clips, pieces. Still has the key and the handles, external handles. Still has nice seats, cloth, manual. Still has nice trim inside. Still has halfway decent tail lights. They're not perfect, but somebody might be able to restore them with some sandpaper. All right, we're gonna go check this XC90 for a tow hitch. Volvo XC90 T6 has those cross rails up top like we want. See if we can get those. But man, this car is in the mud. I think we're gonna pass on everything else. If you made it this far, I trust that you found some information that was either useful or entertaining, so go ahead and hit the like button. And if you would like notification of future videos that I post, please subscribe to the channel. I appreciate your support. You can follow me on other social media apps by looking for @RobertDIY. Some form of that should bring up the other channels that I have on places like Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and so forth. If for some reason you need some more personal help, go to my website at robertdiy.com and use the phone number that I have posted there to send me a text message, or you can email me. If you have questions or comments, please make a comment below. And if you'd like to make some kind of financial contribution to what I got going on here, go to my channel and hit the more link at the end of the introduction statement, and it'll show you different ways that you can support me financially. Again, thanks for watching. I hope you have a great day.